Greetings, everyone. I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. I would like to appreciate you for taking this moment, this time to watch this video. I'm Olani Moloi, and in this video, I just want to go through the media briefing that Floyd Shivambu had. And I just want to say politics is a scam. Politics is like a Ponzi scheme. Others are in politics for business. Others are in politics for side hustling. In other words, if you engage yourself in politics, you need to know what are you putting yourself into. Not long ago, Mr. Jacob Zuma was calling Floyd a political scientist. And recently, the very same man who called Floyd a political scientist, he's like, we don't care. And now, Mr. Floyd Shivambu wants to prove that he's indeed a political scientist by forming a new political party.
I've got tremendous respect for President Zuma. I think that in the few close working relationship that we've got to maintain and work with now, I think I've learned more in the 6 months than I learned in the 10 years I was deputy president of Mkhonto of the EFF. I learned more as a member of Mkhonto than I learned as a deputy president of the EFF. In terms of real politics and appreciation of both the domestic and the global politics, much more thoroughly in terms of the issues and under no circumstances.
Mr. Floyd Shivambu is testing the waters. There are people who are behind him already, the opportunists, the people who have already decided that we need a new political party. There are people who have decided that there's a need for a political party. In other words, they've decided on behalf of the poor people. It doesn't mean now they have to go and ask the people. They already know the answer, that the political party is needed. But they have to test the waters to see if their chosen one, their leader, is charismatic enough to become like a magnet in order to attract the people. In other words, if you are poor, you have to know that politics are not for you. These people don't care about you. They will only use you so that maybe you can become a councillor. Then you will attract people on their behalf. Then at the end of the day, they dump you. These people, they only care about themselves. Because if they fail to do a simple thing, to unite, so that they can unite people, so that at the end of the day, they can give the indigenous people of this land the freedom they deserve, then you cannot tell me that these people care about you. Because they fail to do a simple thing, to come together and give people what they want, which is freedom. We don't care about monies. We don't care about all these other things. We only care about freedom. But they fail because if you can listen to most of these black political parties or so-called black political parties, they always say, we will give you freedom, we'll give you freedom, we will give you freedom. But when there's time for them to come together to give you that freedom, they always fail. So now, the people who are behind, I can call them a system. Now the system is aware that no, if people or as black people are waking up, there's a need for another political party. In other words, there has to be a split. So that is why I'm like, a political system was created by the colonialists. In other words, everything that we are using here was created by the colonialists. So they master the platform better than us. And they are 10 times ahead of us. They're 10 times ahead of us because we are still learning this thing. And as we are learning this thing, others are taking advantage of us. Why? Because they use politics as their side hustle. This is too bad. So now they are testing waters if this man can be a magnet. And again, they are waiting for Umkhonto to fire him so that we can sympathize with him and say, okay, this man has been fired, so we have to vote for him. At the end of the day, you won't get freedom.
There have been a lot of ordinary South Africans from all corners of the country. There have been a lot of comrades who came from Umkhonto Sizwe, from the ANC, from the EFF, to say, what then do we do moving forward? Because I did explain to them what were the developments. And a substantial number of those say that don't ever try to join the ANC, and I fully agree with them. That will never join the ANC. It's directionless, it doesn't know what it's doing, it's in collaboration with the white system now. And there are those who say don't ever join or rejoin the economic freedom fighters because it's a cult. I agree with them. There's no space for sound ideological reasoning.
This is politics. According to Floyd, EFF is now a cult. How can you be in a cult for over 10 years? In other words, this is just politics and politicians. It's all about like getting attention of the people. You know, you convince them, then at the end of the day, they vote for you. This is how politicians create followers. This is a strategy they use to make followers for themselves. You have to criticize somebody else. In other words, others should see that person as a bad person so that you can come together thinking that they will give you something. But I'm telling you the truth. Even if Mr. Floyd Shivambu can like establish a new organization, there are others who will also call him a cult leader. There are others who will also call him a cult leader, and they will move out of that new political party of his. This is politics. And again, the problem as Black people, you can go to various non-profit organizations, various churches, and so forth and so forth. We have a problem of leadership. We don't want to be led. It doesn't mean we don't have bad leaders. We have bad leaders out there because most of these institutions are led by bad leaders. But here is the thing, even we ourselves, we don't want to be led. We don't want to be led. But here is the thing, even if Mr. Floyd Shivambu can become successful in establishing his new political party, because it's not about consulting. It's not about consulting. So this thing of like we have to consult certain people, in other words, it's just to buy time. They've already made a decision to establish a new political party. They're just waiting for a right moment, a right time to establish that political party. But even if they become successful, there are others who will withdraw themselves, from that new political party, because now it's all about like opportunities. If this political party is getting established, I'll get a position. In other words, we are hungry for positions. So the very same thing that you see in various churches, various non-profit organizations, is the very same thing that you see in politics. And the system has realized that our weakest point, we don't want to be led, and we love money and positions.
But also of those who came, there are those who said that we should form a political party or a political movement to contest the 2026 and 2029 elections. My view about the formation of a political party is that a political party must never be founded by an individual. My prompt response to the first number of people who came was that let us not form a political party, let us fight within the existing political parties.
My perception is that we don't even have enough political parties. We have more political parties, and many of them are not even required. But as for me, I'm like, politics is just a scam. Politics is a Ponzi scheme. But for the sake of those who are vulnerable, who depend on these politicians, you have to know that we have many political parties, and these people will never come together. Why? Because as long as there's someone out there who's funding them and they're living a comfortable life, they're enjoying themselves, they don't care about you. That is why they only come when it's time for you to vote for them. When they need your vote, that's when they come. As we are going to the elections, maybe next year, if I'm not mistaken, they might start now. They might start to like come to you looking for votes and etc. etc. This is what they do. This is what they do. So now there are people who are suggesting a political party. They approach him. They suggest a new political party because they are looking for something, most definitely.
But that if we were to form a political party, let us go to the people of South Africa and ask them if they want to have a political party. We can't form a political party as a group of friends and as few individuals. So a political party should never be an individual project where you feel like, no, I want to start a political party and then you start it. It must never be a family project. It's very dangerous to have political parties which are family run. A political party must not be a tribal or ethnic project. In South Africa today, a political party must not be regional, must not even be a provincial party. A political party must not be a platform for self-enrichment. It must not be a fiefdom. It must not be a cult. If anything, a political party should be a fighting instrument and vehicle for the people of South Africa, must deeply espouse the principles of democracy and democratic consultations in terms of how decisions are taken, must be transparent and must be accountable in the work that it does. So,
in other words, they've already decided to form this new political party. They're just waiting for a time. I don't want to make this video long, but I wanted to do a full analysis. But for the sake of time, I just want to say they've already decided to establish this political party. But in order for them to get followers, because they know that they will get followers from ANC, EFF, and MK. So what they need to do, and other political parties, so now what they need to do is to talk bad about those political parties. This is what I don't like about politicians. In order to propose to me, you have to talk bad about somebody else. That is why I'm like, this is a scam. This is a scam. That is why now they have to go and consult. They have to go and consult Dr. Ivan Koza, Dr. Mtaung, Dr. Mtsipe, and how this political party is going to be funded. In other words, obvious, they already have someone who is behind. In other words, someone who's like, let me just fund you, but that person has different goal and different intentions. There are people out there who are not afraid to spend millions, even if they can lose that money. They don't care, as long as they bring instability, as long as they keep you asleep. So politicians are playing with our minds. The reason I say this is because they can't do a simple thing to say, let's come together and give these people freedom. Even in a progressive caucus, you can tell that this progressive caucus is no longer even working accordingly. So my perception is that Floyd Shivambu has already created a political party. He's just waiting for a right time. I don't know what you think about this whole situation, but the most painful thing is that there are people who are already saying, Mr. Floyd, please create that political party. Please establish that political party. I'm ready to vote for you as my leader. You are the next president. That's a dream, man. That's a dream. Even if Mr. Floyd can become a president, you will never be free because of the people who are behind.